Boom, bow, 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 bow. I'm never gonna stop remixing.
I don't think you are. I'm beginning to think you're not gonna stop.
No, I'm gonna start having my own versions of this song.
Now you're just gonna make it a thing.
True Crime Guys V.12, V.2, V.3. All these different files.
Oh, you're publishing all these on Spotify.
Yes, I'm actually. There is no royalties back on your way though.
I'll see you in court.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Remember that thing you signed the other day? I told you it was a birthday card.
Son of a bitch!
No, always read the fine print.
Damn you, Dwight Schruded me. Mother.
That's what I told you. I told you it was a birthday card for
Yeah.
White Crute. And you
Well,
were
guess
just like,
what? You
"Yep."
just confessed to this, and this is on the free platform, so anybody can find this and listen.
Yeah, but I can already tell them that you're a master audio wizard. You can make it sound like I said anything you want.
That's pretty much how I get through every episode.
Yeah, everything I do say, you've already scripted for me anyways.
That's right. Do not stray from the teleprompter again, I swear to God. Welcome to Strange Shorts 127.
Bing, 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 bing.
We are here on the free platform to bring you, who knows what Andy has in store for us.
It's free time, baby.
It's going to be like last week's episode? Because last week's episode I had an absolute blast.
I hope so,
honestly.
man. Listen, it's free time. We get to
Yeah.
times are changing. It's not that paywall time. It's
That's
free
right.
time, baby. The times they are changing.
That's right. I mean, changing so much. This is our last show. I'm gonna end this show actually.
And I'm out. Sweet. I don't have to put it in the 2 weeks.
No, you still have to write Sandy stories.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
But
this show's just getting terrible ratings, so we're just gonna cut it.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
But I got some breaking news. I sent you stories and stuff we're going to talk about for the actual show. But I had some breaking news.
Okay, what is
because
it?
I did not know this was even still happening. Did you? Because Netflix has announced they are stopping their DVD mail service.
Are you serious?
I saw that before we were starting to record. I was like, that's still happening? People still get mail in DVDs?
Right? I'm keeping the ones I have. No.
I'm keeping the ones I have. I never
If I
returned
can
those
find
things.
them.
The late fees are astronomical at this point.
Seriously.
I might as well have shares of Netflix at this
It's like,
point.
I thought Redbox really killed that.
I thought
you
they
know?
did too. That's what I'm saying. I didn't know that was actually still happening. And I was like, God, it made me feel old too, because I was like, I remember when that started.
Redbox even sounds outdated now.
It does.
It's like,
People just renting DVDs,
That's
renting
right,
a Blu-ray.
Right? Just go on YouTube and rent it.
Exactly. Stream
Boom.
it.
Just give Google your information.
Just
They already
stream
have
it. Just stream it. Just watch
Yeah.
it at your streaming pleasure whenever you want to.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Oh,
But
I was wondering.
yeah, just like stream it just on YouTube, wherever you want
Yeah.
to look at it. But it's like the idea that people were still getting DVDs in the mail, like renting them. There was like apparently still like thousands of people doing
Hey,
this.
man, there's still people who appreciate old stuff, you know?
It's just like the hipsters wanting to get those like
just-
the vinyl
yeah.
records and stuff. It's like
People just want to have something tangible.
I don't want to stream it. I really want to get that scratched, returned DVD copy of I Am Legend. That's what I want to spend my Saturday night doing.
Right? That occasionally gets stuck on the menu. I don't even care.
I don't even
Man, it's
care.
about having it in your hand, you know? It's like you really own this art.
I do miss DVD menus. That was always a fun thing. Just like how you
you?
see when you play, we would like put it in a new DVD,
Yeah.
and like just to see what like menu they made for it. Like what's the background repeating thing? What's the special features?
I was about to say, the special features, you also felt like you were getting more, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, they have special features. I can look forward to that later.
deleted scenes,
Yeah.
bonus footage.
Let's
Yeah.
see what that is.
That's what I said. You get that when you get a DVD, but just the idea of renting a DVD still, man, I'm old. I remember when that started. I remember the idea of like going to Blockbuster and renting, but then they're like, did you
Yeah.
know if you call this number, they will send you one in the mail in 3 to 5
Yeah,
days.
dude. I remember when Netflix first started. It was exciting. It was like, whoa, they're just gonna send you these movies.
They're going to trust us with that?
It's like, yeah, they're all scratched up and everything, as you would expect, because they just came in the mail. It's a terrible idea.
Well, now that Netflix is ending, I know what they can do with all their plastic, all the empty cases they're going to have to deal
Yeah.
with, all the DVDs. What are they going to do with all these DVDs? Are they going to sell them all? What are they going to do with them?
God, I don't know. Art?
I know where they're probably going to
Decor?
end up
What?
in our first story.
Oh, God.
They're going to end up in our first story, Michael,
Is-
because the Great
in the ocean?
Pacific Garbage Patch
Yep.
is now so huge and permanent that a coastal ecosystem is now thriving on it.
This is one of those things.
That's where they'll end up.
This is one of those things I really don't like looking into. It's like everybody just ignores it too. But it's like, what are you gonna do about it? It's a giant island of plastic.
It's a giant island of trash, and it's not part of New Jersey. It's just its own separate thing.
Image Comics actually does a series called Great Pacific, and it's about this exact thing where
Yeah.
this rich kid goes to this island and establishes his own colony, and he calls it New Texas.
New Texas.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's an interesting concept.
That's how, kind of how America did a bunch of their things. They're like, Mexico? Nope. New Mexico.
New Mexico.
England?
Oh,
New
no.
England.
York? No, this is New York.
It's New York. Everything is new. They just put us like,
Is this Hampshire? I would have sworn.
New Hampshire. Yeah, we got real creative with our names back in the day.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, man, scientists have found thriving communities of coastal creatures, including crabs and anemones. Yeah, I'm going to struggle with anemones all the time.
Way to go, Nemo.
Anemones. But living thousands of miles from their original home on the plastic debris in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Because, Michael, this is now a 620,000 square mile swirl of trash in the ocean between California and Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big... that's a pretty big spot of trash.
Like I say, I just don't even like looking into it. It's like, that is not good. There is plastics in everything. There's plastics in our fish, obviously.
Obviously, our fish are plastic now.
They are plastic fish.
Just a bunch of big mouth basses going through there at this point. That's all we get now from the free. You go saltwater fishing. You just pull up a bunch of like prizes. You're like, oh god, this is like a fairgrounds.
What is this?
But yeah, we talked about like Lake Mead last week losing all of its water and all the water levels rising. But we have a whole bunch of water that we could use. But nah, we're just fucking that up.
Yeah,
like
who needs it, Andy?
Who needs this? Aquaman?
Who needs it, dude?
The Atlanteans? Nah.
Desalinization? What is that? Get out of here.
But yeah, man, scientists said that findings suggest plastic pollution in the ocean might be enabling the creation of a new floating ecosystem of species that are not normally able to survive in the open ocean. So yeah,
it's pretty interesting. The comic kind of sheds light on that. That's the interesting part about it.
It's like this own little world of like the island of misfit toys. I feel like they're gonna start like evolving to like live in trash. You're gonna start seeing like trash crabs with with like bottle openers for hands and shit. They're gonna be like mutants. That's what
they're just gonna use like weird things for their shells, and that'll just be normal. That'll just be part of their evolution.
A bunch of miniature football helmets.
Around this age, they'll typically be using a bleach bottle. You can see them near the coast.
This is when they graduate to a normal mason job.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I want to see just a bunch of mutant crabs at this point, though. I want to see them start evolving with the trash. Like they all evolved on natural ecosystems, but these crabs evolved in garbage.
Yeah,
they're like New York rats at this point. There's gonna be like giant.
Yeah, absolutely. In the comic, there's like a reference to like this giant kraken thing that lives beneath the island.
Oh, I believe it.
Just randomly surfaces to grab whatever life is up there.
Yeah, there's probably just a big mutant something living in this thing now.
Right?
I guarantee you there is some toxic waste dumps that's like some company's driven by and be like, oh yeah, we can just dump it there. Just toss it there. Look at all that other shit.
It's the ocean. Like, look
at all that other shit on that pile. They won't even notice it.
They won't even notice.
Won't even notice it.
That's so true.
But yeah, man, this professor, Lindsay Haram, a science fellow at the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, was the lead author of this study. Her and her colleagues examined 105 items of plastic fished out of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and they identified 404 marine invertebrate organisms on the debris, accounting for 46 different species, of which 80% were normally found in coastal habitats. So they have like whatever this thing has like gotten, I guess, towards coastal waters.
They're not new species, though.
No, they're not new species, but they're normally not found in open water. These are normally coastal crabs and small fishes and stuff. But they have now taken up residence on this floating isle of trash.
Yeah, why not? It's an island.
I mean, yeah, they have their own democracy on there. I wonder like what the ecosystem is starting to turn into.
Right?
It's like Lord of the Flies out there, just like a weird. I want to know it's like Planet of the Apes, but just like Isle of the Crabs.
When the first person gets there, they're going to start a tribe, be a small village.
I feel like there's probably already some people
who get taken over.
There's probably some people who are already living there, and they're just crab people. Old South Park reference. But yeah, that's where the crab people come from, man. The island of floating trash. They're going to mutate a bunch of crabs into crab people. I can't wait to see the Godzilla crabs that start coming off of this thing.
I think that's going to be the least of our problems.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, probably. But yeah, there's lots of pictures of different kind of the plastics that they're just pulling out of this. But yeah, it looks like a floating landfill. And there's no real easy way to say that because yes, it is just it looks like a giant pile of trash.
Yeah.
Just coasting along in the South Pacific.
I don't think it's moving, dude. It's just sitting there.
Well, it kind of floats around, so it's gotten areas of like I guess it's kind of floating a little bit with the current.
Oh,
because
okay.
yeah, it's an ever moving thing. It's not anchored to anything.
No, that's true.
But so that's how it's kind of acquired some of these coastal creatures as well. Because it's if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of in like the circular motion of the current. That's kind of how it's formed. Like all the trash has kind of been circled into this one spot just by their natural flows. But yeah, so like they're kind of worried about like what kind of evolution is going to take place on this. Is there going to be this like new species develop? Is there going to be a new ecosystem of food needing to come aboard?
I mean, it's a huge landmass essentially.
And what happens when they invade?
Around like
what happens when they come take over Hawaii?
Right?
And they make it Hawaii 3.
They're coming out there with like plastic armor and shit, man.
They just have crabs. They're armored.
Oh yeah, that's true. They are crab people.
I'm just imagining.
I forgot they were crab people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is amazing.
I blanked on that.
There's a bunch of new things that are popping up in here, but I can't imagine the idea of like a whole new ecosystem that's just floating around the ocean, not tethered to anything, not part of any continent. And now it's got almost like Pangea because it's got like bits of pieces of different species from different continents.
You know about Pangea?
This bitch don't know about Pangea.
I know about Pangea.
But yeah, it's like it's kind of it's like a melting pot of ecosystems that are going to start forming their own thing. So I want to see how that kind of tracks out. But it's like you don't really want it to be in a trash island. But yeah, that's what it is. So now it's just an experiment because they're not doing anything to fix it. So now they're just going to watch.
No. What do we do? It's indestructible.
What do we do? It's got its own field of energy. It's got its own gravitational pull. It's controlling the currents.
Right.
At this point,
if it gets far enough out, just nuke it, right? See what happens.
At this point, it's about to start applying to be a part of NATO.
The worst idea ever. Like the entire world be covered in like plastic fumes.
Nuclear trash.
Yeah.
And just rains down nuclear trash.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's nuke the trash pile.
Yeah, that was so American to me. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, they're trying to figure out what they can do about it because yes, it's definitely affecting marine life. The Ocean Cleanup Project has built up a huge trash collecting system, like a U-shaped barrier with a net skirt. Have you ever seen that kind of going across?
Yeah.
It's like a giant, like they're kind of almost like trelling the lakes that people do and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, they're doing that with giant nets going through this trash thing to try and scoop up some of it. But yeah, once you get it back to shore, then you still have to figure out a way to process it and recycle it and get rid of it. Because obviously
you're going to burn it down to a certain point and then it's going to go back out there.
Yeah, it's like, well, obviously your first solution was let's just throw it in the ocean and hope it doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And eventually it set up its own station. It's just kind of its
well,
own
like you
nation
said,
formed.
once it gets caught up in those certain currents, I mean, it's only going to go so far. And even if the current circles 600, well, what was it? Over 600 square miles?
620,000 miles.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 620,000 square miles.
Yeah.
We can fill it up.
It is its own country at this point. It is a floating country. I feel like it's going to start getting its own diplomats, like just crab diplomats coming out, some turtles and shit. This is where the Ninja Turtles are going to come from. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to come from this trash island.
Some rats already raising them up.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
The Shredder is just a crab.
Yeah.
I shred. But yeah, man, we talked about the world kind of coming to an end with all the water shortages, and now let's just talk about how our ocean is becoming just a mobile landfill.
We are just a ray of sunshine here, man.
We are.
On Strange Shorts, yeah.
Well, you know what, Michael? I'll give you a different story if you want to talk about it.
Well, let's change the subject.
Hold on.
The easiest thing to do.
Got something in my teeth.
You seriously got something in your teeth?
No, I'm just gonna. I know a guy can take care of it though.
Oh, do you?
I know a guy can take care of it. I'm gonna call this guy from our next story, Michael.
Is he a dentist?
You could say so.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't say that's an official title, but
now I'm intrigued.
I mean, when you're going to a La Quinta for your dental work, I wouldn't exactly say doctor.
Right. Okay.
But a man has been arrested for running an illegal dental operation in a Danbury hotel room.
Oh, no.
Because Danbury police and officers responded to the La Quinta Hotel for reports of dental work being done in one of their rooms.
I mean, that's fair, right? What if they rented it out for a tattoo?
I mean, that's more or less of a medical procedure and more of like you can do this in your house. This isn't the Wild West. This isn't this isn't dentist / barber / taxidermist. You're not a kind of a jack of all trades here.
I don't know. I mean, if the person agrees to it, like, what if you wanted to pull your own tooth? That's considered dental work.
Yeah, you can do that. You can pull your own tooth, but I guess you can't have somebody like offering dental procedures like in a hotel room.
He was like putting in implants and like full dentures.
Oh yeah, like 100%. The officers found a man who said he was conducting dental referrals.
Oh.
When officers entered the occupant's room, they found an impromptu operating setup with dental drills, suction machines, and a portable X-ray machine.
Well, he's got his license, and do you know how high rent is in that area for commercial properties? I mean, you got to start somewhere, Andy.
Like I said, I
appreciate this guy's hustle, honestly.
Like I said, license. I feel like it's kind of like I thought you got a degree from Columbia. Well, now I need one from America. Like I feel like that's where his doctorate came from.
Oh, okay.
You just got a business card and put DR on the front of it, but he had bottles of amoxicillin and like penicillin and stuff. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot you with a bunch of penicillin and hope you don't lose your teeth.
Nice.
But authorities
this guy's a go-getter.
He really is. But they said like while they were speaking to him, this was like the icing on the cake. So they opened the door, and he's just still got the gloves on and the drill. Like, oh, you're not my 330,
right?
Shit. And like they're like, are you doing dental work? No. And like as he's talking, a person comes out of the bathroom behind him with gauze all in his mouth. He said he told the police he just had a dental procedure done. They were like. Shit. It's just
he's like, appointment only.
Because Hugo Morales de Lama was arrested and charged with practicing dentistry without a license and illegal sale of prescription drugs. Is being held on a $350,000 bond.
Without a license or without a recognized license?
Look, I have a driver's license. What license do I need? It says license on it. It's Class C. Look.
That's some Frank Abagnale shit right there, man. He's going through with it.
I mean, yeah, but at least Frank Abagnale would have like set up his own office somewhere, but not in like a La Quinta. It would have been like he would have rented out like a vacant building or something for like a few days.
That's what he would lead us to believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he would have led us to believe, or would he? But yeah, this guy just was like, "Oh yeah, can I? I'm gonna take room 308 for 3 or 4 weeks." 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks? What are you doing here? Right. Well, I'm going to have a lot of foot traffic coming through here.
Yeah, right. That's not a good sign.
When everybody's leaving your hotel room and they're just holding their face and just like covered in blood. And like,
right.
I don't think that guy's doing...
They weren't covered in blood. What do you think he is? Some kind of rookie operating in a... Oh, wait.
What do you think? This guy was operating without a license or something? Hugo Morales de Lima. Like I said... / dentist / taxidermist / barber / whatever you need him to be.
Like I say, he's a go-getter. You gotta admire this guy's hustle, man.
If you're finding your dentist off Craigslist, that's kind of on you.
Like I say, if you agree to it, I bet they're getting a bargain.
I bet they are.
And they're probably in a lot of pain.
I mean, it's probably cash only, but still.
Right.
I mean, we don't, I'm guessing he doesn't take insurance.
No, he does not have an iCard reader.
Do you take Blue Cross, Blue Shield? No.
Do you have Cash App? Because I guess I can move some money.
Yeah, it's like, can I write you a check? Like, how do you pay for that? How do people normally pay for this? But this sounds like something that would have normally been like a New Jersey case.
Yeah.
Speaking of New Jersey, Michael, I have a
good segue.
Because something that would normally happen in New Jersey
excellent.
Sounds like this, like going to a dentist in a La Quinta.
Yeah.
Because New Jersey, we remember how we talked about how they kind of got pranked not too long ago by the Sister Cities thing.
That was hilarious.
Well, they kind of did it to themselves this time.
Oh no.
Because New Jersey Environmental Agency has had to enforce a pretty hefty fine on itself for destroying an environmental safety area.
So this is just paperwork, right? They're just going, yeah, we're going to hold ourselves accountable. Look at us. Listen, we're not above the law.
It was more or less an accidental demolition of the wrong habitat. So the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, destroyed a protected animal habitat in hopes to create another one, and now is having to fine itself for destroying the habitat.
Well, that's what they get.
Exactly. I mean,
and also props to them for holding up the bargain.
I mean, yeah. That's
where does the fine money go?
Where does it come from, and where does it go? Because if you're paying the fine to you, is that just you just take the money out, put it in left hand, back?
Yeah, it means you just make a statement that you're not above your own policy, and nothing happens. That's what it means. But
they cited the Division of Fish and Wildlife for illegally clearing 15 acres of protected wetlands. Wow. The irony of the situation is not lost on the environmental group as well, who find the department redundant. While the former concerned about the DEP's ability to hold itself accountable, which we talked about, like, are you guys holding yourself accountable, or are you fining yourself to pay yourself? Are you where is the money going? That's
right, exactly.
But they apparently intended to use this land to build a habitat for a species of bird, the American woodcock, which is in a decline on the eastern seaboard due to its loss of its meadows and scrub habitats. Man, this woodcock don't want no scrubs.
No.
That's an American woodcock. Woodcocks don't want no scrubs, man.
They do not want scrubs.
But, however, in doing so, they destroyed protected lands that were intended to protect two other species, the threatened barred owl and the endangered red-shouldered hawk.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And when you get, I want to say, you know what? Have them fight it out. Let's see who wins. Let's see. You know what?
The owls versus the hawks?
The owls and the hawks and the
they're
woodcocks.
Endangered?
No, they're not. They're I guess they're threatened. They are in the red-shouldered hawk is endangered. The barred owls are threatened. So I get there is the tiers of threatened and endangered.
Because they're eating each other's eggs, man.
Like I feel like it's like, all right, well, we only got enough land for one of you.
Or rodents. Apparently, we only have enough food for one of you.
Well, I think if that's the case, I don't think the woodcocks are going to win that one. I feel like it's going to come down to it's going to be the hawks and the owls just going.
Right. And Hawk's like,
want to kill them?
Right. Hawk's like, I will eat you.
Yeah, so the hawks will get you in the day, the owls will get you at night. You won't sleep, motherfucker.
You will not sleep. And you can't outrun or hear either one of them coming.
Those owls are silent as a motherfucker. Just got fucking ninjas coming through the wood. They're coming to the trees.
Did I send you that video of that owl flying?
Yeah, we talked about it because we were talking about that owl going down the owl was going down a ski slope and fucking pit maneuvering skiers and shit.
Yes.
But yeah, owls move silently.
Silent, man. It can't even be picked up.
Like I said, I feel like this is a very New Jersey thing to be like, listen, we only got enough room for one of yous, so who's it gonna be? Who's gonna be? I mean, some might, help grease the palm a little bit. Who's gonna? Hawk comes by, drops a rabbit in the hand. Okay. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Okay, what's next?
That's an offering. It's on the table.
That's a squirrel. Okay. But yeah, like they said, they destroyed a bunch of mature oaks and pine forests. But yeah, it's very New Jersey to be like, you know what? Okay, yeah, just destroy that land. We'll make a new land for it.
Exactly.
After all the bulldozers come through, just a bunch of birds just standing there on the side. That was a house, bitch.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Where
are we gonna live now, bitch? What are we gonna?
It's like the freaking good feathers from Animaniacs.
It's just a bunch of. They're all just sitting on the power lines outside, just. Oh, we're going to shit on your car when you get back.
We're going to shit on.
Oh, then when you leave them bulldozers, you're not going to be able to sit down tomorrow.
God pigeon's over there.
The God pigeon.
Yeah, you can never understand anything he's saying. Just mumbling over there.
It's a bunch of owls just coughing up mice bits.
But the God pigeon says this is bullshit.
The God owl. He's actually still asleep. We'll talk to you. Wait till the dark.
Wait till dark.
He sleeps until the dark.
That's right.
But yeah, it's just very New Jersey. But I want to talk about somebody who's New Jersey can be very easy to make fun of and be very easy to make trash jokes about New Jersey. But let's take a trip across the country to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Okay.
To Portland. Portland, Oregon, baby.
Yeah, nobody makes fun of Portland.
I'm saying the very opposite of New Jersey. New Jersey is the place that tells you to go fuck yourself. Portland's the place that says, I will fuck myself. Portland says,
I give consent.
Yeah, Portland says, if I consent to that, I will fuck myself.
Yeah.
But an Oregon man in Portland gifted money to strangers, Michael. But you know how he decided to gift this money?
How?
He threw $200,000 in cash out of his window of a car onto the highway.
Oh,
so kind of a Frogger-esque game of, pick 'em up.
Yes.
So, but yeah, this man decided he was going to gift a bunch of strangers money.
Okay.
And he decided to gift strangers by going up to the busy highway from his car and tossing $100 bills onto a busy highway. At around 7:30 p.m., police got a phone call saying bills were floating on busy Interstate 5 toward the south end of Eugene. And according to a news release, multiple vehicles had been stopped in the road and people had left their cars to grab the cash, which was reportedly in the form of $100 bills. So he didn't make it that big of a cloud of money. He dropped just Benjamins, just making it rain on an overpass. I mean, it's not exactly the best place to donate.
I think he envisioned traffic just coming to a stop and people getting out of their cars and celebrating and being like, wow, this is great. And this just big happy moment. And just the whole highway comes to a stop and no one slams into the back of somebody because they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like he imagined like a La La Land-esque musical was going to start, and everybody's just looking up and thanking, and they're all crying. And
everybody starts synchronized dancing.
And in reality, it was just that scene from the Blues Brothers when every car just kept hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. Just over and over. You just caused a 48-car pile up, and there's like 9 dead bodies.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. A motorist did a thorough job of gathering the loose money, as troopers were unable to locate any further currency after the incident.
I bet.
Like I said, if this was New Jersey, you wouldn't have been able to find a dime. I don't even think it would have hit the ground. You wouldn't have got a phone call either. No. The police would not have been called.
No.
But police say no criminal charges are currently being considered against Mr. McCarthy. Colin Davis McCarthy, 38-year-old man, told him he wanted to gift the money to strangers, and he estimated he probably threw about $200,000 in bill from his car window. It's very like leaving Las Vegas kind of deal, or not leaving. Yeah, it's a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, just driving out and be like, we don't need this anymore. Yeah. We don't need this. It's all a concept. Just throwing money out the car.
Yes.
But they say there's no criminal charges being considered against McCarthy at the time. Motorists appeared to pick the road clean of any bills left behind. So I guess there's like, I'm sorry, is there any evidence of a crime, officers? I don't see any evidence. And everybody on the road is just like, peace. Just running out with their shirts full.
Right. We didn't see nothing.
Everybody's just got stuff just coming out of their armpits and nothing. Man, the dispensaries in Portland are going to be popping in the next few days.
Yeah, they are. Everything is, apparently.
The economy in Portland is going to be booming. Everybody's just got a bunch of tax season. Fuck this. Were you at the overpass on Highway 5?
Right.
Fuck tax returns. It's fucking raining Benjamins. I felt like I was a stripper in Orlando.
In Orlando? They'd get tipped in Benjamins in Orlando?
I don't know.
They do it that big?
I guess Miami, Vegas. I don't know. Where do the strippers get paid big?
I don't know.
Where can I make the big money? Come on, where can I work? Where do I need to sign up for?
I'm asking specifically.
But police department urges residents to avoid the temptation to go looking for any more money along the highway because
yeah, sure.
I think they probably already found it all. The police you don't go looking. Because we're going to be looking for it.
We're going to be looking for it. We got the dogs out here.
We got the dogs out here. We don't want, it's an active crime scene, people. It's active.
That's right. Everybody out there.
These searches create a hazardous condition and put both researchers and motorists at risk.
No doubt.
I mean, police troopers did follow up the next morning, but were unable to locate anything. So, is this a crime? I mean, I guess you did cause a hazard. You did cause a possible hazard, but nobody did get hurt. Nobody died. Nobody was hit by a car. There was no Blues Brothers pile up.
No.
I mean, it didn't exactly cause like the angelic scene he was hoping for. It was probably a few more elbows thrown down there that he wanted to see.
Right.
But I mean, it's Portland, so it was probably. There was a lot of consent, and a lot of people were like, I'm sorry. No, you saw that first.
No,
I'm sorry. It's very close to Canada. They apologize a lot. There's just a lot of Northerners up there. I'm sorry. You saw it first?
At least this is what we've learned from Portlandia.
Exactly. That's what I'm just basing everything I know off Portlandia.
Right.
And Canada. But New Jersey, Sopranos. That's what I'm saying. There would not have been a phone call to the police.
No.
That money wouldn't have hit the ground. There would have been a whole bunch of people just going, hey. You see nothing. Just everybody looking at each other. Hey.
And then they would be like, hey, I saw that first. I saw that one.
Just everybody just looking by the side eye.
That was mine too. Leave that one.
Nobody saw nothing. That would be New Jersey. New Jersey would be so ballsy. Everybody would still be standing on the side of the road with cash just in their pockets and being like, yep, didn't see a thing. Didn't see a thing, officer. Anyways, we're going to go eat. Steaks for everyone.
Right.
Yeah, Portland was apologizing, but New Jersey would have just stood there and been like, oh, yeah, come try and get it.
Right.
But anyway, Michael, I'm going to take you to a definite, I'm going to bring it down a little bit for for our next story.
Is this our last story?
It could be our last story.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on how sad it is, you know.
We
need a palate cleanser after this sad story.
If you need a palate cleanser after this, I've got another one for you.
Okay.
But Michael, we're going to take a trip to New Delhi.
All right.
We're going to get out of this. We're going to get out of this chaos of a country that we've been dwelling in for a little while.
Yeah.
But we're going to go to New Delhi, where a couple has reportedly beheaded themselves.
Oh no.
In a sacrifice with, you guessed it, A homemade guillotine.
Well, that's about the only way you can do it, I would think.
Heck yeah, probably, unless you had some...
Unless you had, like, no filling in your neck.
You had like a weird, like, scythe set up on a windmill.
Yeah, I guess you could get creative.
Yeah, you could get real... I mean, if you're going to get... It's going to be a sacrifice. I mean, you're going to make it look creative. But an Indian couple has allegedly died by suicide using a guillotine-like mechanism to decapitate themselves in a sacrificial ritual.
Man.
Let's go do some cult shit, man. Come on.
What the hell, dude?
Himbai Mukwana, 38, and his wife, Hasamba, both died by decapitation after using a homemade bladed mechanism in a hut on their farm in the western state of Gujarat, police have said. The couple first prepared a fire altar before putting their heads under a guillotine-like mechanism held by a rope, the police inspector has said. As soon as they released the rope, an iron blade fell on them, severing their heads, which then rolled into the fire.
Oh, and that was part of their plan.
Like I said, this was part of a sacrificial ritual because police said they had found a suicide note addressed to the family members, and they've launched an investigation because they do have two children and their parents.
Right.
But the family members reported that they told police the pair had offered prayers in the hut every day for the last year. Ritual human sacrifices are not unknown in India, which official data shows that there were more than 100 reported cases over the past 7 years.
Okay, so leading up to this, they were offering prayer
sessions
in their hut, right?
They had basically turned this hut into like a ritualistic hut. And
over the last year.
For the past year, they'd been conducting daily rituals in this hut.
To what? To help other people or just for themselves?
I think this was more or less for themselves because it says fire is considered a sacred act in Hinduism and it plays a significant role in several worship rituals. Okay. The couple apparently designed the device in their beheading to make sure their heads would roll into a fire altar, completing their sacrificial ritual.
Wow.
So I'm guessing that maybe they were trying to hopefully benefit their family or their surviving children and offering a sacrifice in some way.
That's what I was thinking,
But yeah, like I said, there's been over 100 reported cases between 2014 and 2021, but almost all known cases of human sacrifice involved people killing others to please gods rather than themselves.
Of course.
So, like I said, earlier this month, they had there was a ritual in 2019 that they were several men were arrested for it, but it's usually never been a self-sacrifice, and especially a double self-sacrifice.
Yeah, that's
to be insane, like, what were your? Because they have I guess they do have a note, and they haven't released the full note to the families yet, or to the press.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I want to know what this goal was. What was your end plan? Like, where were you hoping to go from this?
Right. Hear me out. Listen, one of the two in the couple was just like, all right, if you're into this. You know what I mean? There's just no way two people are that gung-ho. One of them was like, well, if you're dying, I'm dying.
No, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not watching you do this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I could believe that.
It's like, you got to think that one of them just wasn't as convinced, but it's like, I'm going to die with you. It's like a Romeo and Juliet type deal.
Possibly.
Almost.
I could see it being something.
And then, like you said, it could be for their children, for the benefit of their family and their children.
Yes, it could be, because I want to see. Like I said, they don't have the suicide note that really details what their plan was, because you would normally, in most cases of sacrifice, a person or someone would sacrifice something else to appease a god or to appease weather or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's normally not a sacrifice of themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's like a satanic type deal or some kind of really occult issue.
Unless it's for someone else. That's what I'm saying.
I could understand, yes, if you're offering yourself as the sacrifice and saying that somebody else is the benefactor.
Their children are gone, right? They're grown.
Well, they don't actually give the ages of their children. They just say they are survived by their two children and both of their parents, because they were only 38 and 35. So I'm guessing their children are, if at most, teenagers, if they have them. So
yeah, okay.
But so either way, like I said, both of the couple, they beheaded themselves in a double suicide, and their heads rolled into a fire-based altar that they had set apart. So it's like, I guess they were trying to cleanse the spirit or some way of cleansing them afterwards. But either way, there's got to be an investigation, because, like I said, the note is not listed, but we don't ever get to see double beheadings with guillotines. Just a weird ass cult thing I kind of wanted to follow up on later, because we talked about kind of not doing so. We haven't done some cult shit in a while, but that sounds like some occult practice right there.
No doubt. How long do you think you're aware as your head's rolling down that ramp to the fire?
I don't know. It depends on how clean the cut was, I'm guessing. Like, if you had a really nice, just sink, like one swell, like fell swoop. I mean, there's probably those theories that say, like, you have like a couple seconds of, brain activity before everything kind of fades to black.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And you're like literally laying in fire and can't move.
Yeah, then your head rolls into a fire. It's like, I wonder if would you still feel? Would you still have any of the?
Jesus,
it's a weird thing to
what if
to
the
imagine.
guillotine doesn't work all the way? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Oh.
What if it just breaks both your necks and you just
What else
fall?
you got? Let's just get another story.
Okay, you know what, Michael? I'll give you a palate
Give
cleanser.
me one more palate cleanser for the end.
Because this story that I found just reminded me of the classic film Joe Dirt.
Oh, dude, so classic.
You know the scene when
Put an E on the air and pronounce it Dierte.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's all good. Van Halen, not Van Hagar.
That's right.
But remember the good old scene where he finds what he thinks is a deactivated warhead?
Yes.
And he tapes it to his back? Well, that ain't nothing but an old crapper tank. Well, this guy right here, turns out he did find a deactivated warhead.
Oh, how did he happen upon that?
A Maine fisherman finds a 5-foot-long military rocket entangled in his lobster trap.
Oh my God.
That's something you don't hear every day, right?
Was it? I mean, it just floated in there, I guess.
I guess. Well, lobster traps are normally across the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah,
because
right.
they're a bottom-dwelling creatures.
Yeah.
But a couple of lobstermen found a military rocket stuck in their traps. Captain Cameron Peace of Cushing on Monday afternoon. He, his sternman, and his dog were aboard the boat, the Beverly E., when Peace found something caught in his trawler's rope. Like I said, trawling the ocean. Just like they were trying to clean it up. These guys are just trawling for crabs and
scooped
lobsters.
it up.
Well, if they would just go to that trash pile, there's all kinds of crabs out there. You can just
Yeah.
get, and you might get a weird green crab, but
Right.
I mean, you take what you get.
Right.
But
Might
when
get cancer just from catching one.
you might, it might talk back to you. To come out and put me back. Okay.
Oh, no problem.
Put you back. But when he pulled it up, what he expected to find probably like maybe piece of a car, maybe like some kind of old boat piece.
Yeah.
But no, he found a 5-foot-long, 150-pound rocket.
Oh my God.
He contacted a local warden, who then contacted the state police bomb squad to detonate it. So yeah, they had to, I guess maybe a controlled detonation.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 5-foot-long military rocket about 20 miles off the shore. A bomb technician, Keith Barton, responded to analyze the item, which was identified as a Mark 29 Mod 0 with X-ray imaging.
Wow.
I guess they were unable to confirm that the item did not contain explosive material. Due to its condition, the decision was made to countercharge the item with the guidance from a Navy EOD mobile unit. So yeah, they were just like, oh shit, you found a big-ass...
You won't
You
blow
want
it
to blow
up.
it up? Like, that sounds very southern of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yes,
this is Maine.
Yeah.
Like I said, like
No, this is just normal, man. You get a chance to blow this up, and you're like, you get that thing approved. It's like,
yeah, it's like
the little kid that used to do crazy shit inside you, just like,
Oh yeah, I mean, you see the guy,
do it.
this Keith Barton, who's kind of setting up the charge.
Yeah.
It's just like he looks like he's about 22 years old. You can see the smile on his face
yeah.
as he's doing. He's just
he's
like
having a blast.
he's like, this is gonna be so cool.
This is gonna be good.
This is gonna be the highlight of my whole fucking year.
Yep.
This is awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, given that the fact it was rattling around on a boat all day, and then in his truck bed as he carried it home that night, authorities say it's a pretty lucky event that thing didn't explode on its own.
For real.
Because like I said, this guy did like a Joe Dirt thing, just threw it in the back of his truck and was like, look at this motherfucker, look what I found. I'm gonna take this thing home. Look, wonder if I can pull off a big old bank heist with this thing. Like, what were you gonna do with it?
I know, right?
What were you gonna do? I mean, I guess he did get it home. He was like, I bet I should probably call somebody.
I better call the
Or his
cops.
wife probably was like, you are not keeping that. You are calling I'm calling somebody if you don't.
Right, exactly.
That's definitely a fisherman's wife thing. Like, look what I found. Get that out of my house. Get that out of my house.
Yep.
They did end up doing an X-ray on it and found that everything on the tip, everything in the tip was all still in there and attached.
Yeah.
So it still should have been able to go off. So they used another small dynamite piece and triggered off one another.
Mm-hmm.
So there's about 3 to 5 pounds of explosives in the top of it. So I'm not sure how it did not go off being underwater for a good 20 years. And on top of the missile, it's said to have expired in 2003. So who knows how long it had even been down there since before then. They weren't able to date
Just
it.
a dud, man. Right?
Yeah. So they believe it's a high-velocity aircraft rocket that was most likely used during the 1940s or 50s.
You know what? Somebody probably stole it, and they were like, "What the fuck are we gonna do with this thing now?"
Possibly, or this was, maybe we just one of the. There's plenty of naval bases along the New England coast, so it may have been just a test mission or some kind of rocket that was launched off, and just you see those ones that kind of like launch out and then fire.
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those ones like thunk, and then it just fell. Like that's kind of what I imagine. Be like, oh, what?
Just made a big old splash.
Just bloop.
Right.
Well, shit. All right, load them up.
People out there in the boat. Was that a whale?
Do we have to get that?
Was that
like
what was that?
We were expecting it to blow.
Yeah.
Do we have to get it?
Right.
I'm not.
It's really heavy.
It's like really heavy, and that's like really deep. I don't want to.
I didn't bring my diving gear.
I didn't bring a swimsuit.
I didn't bring my nose plugs.
Yeah, but they're unsure where it came from. It could have possibly come from another ship or an aircraft carrier or just a bomber, like an aircraft plane may have dropped it. It may have gotten current carried from somewhere, because there's no real identifiable markings on it to really date it exactly or where it came from.
Right.
But they could kind of tell what it was and where it what time period it's from.
Yeah.
So either way, it's amazing that this thing did
Plus
not
it
go
said
off.
Expired in 2003.
Yeah. So it's amazing it did not go off underwater, being just, shuffled around across the seafloor for a while.
20 years.
And then a fucking fisherman brings it up onto his boat, just tosses it below deck, and then goes back home, throws it in the back of his F-150, brings it home, and
what
shows
would you
his
do,
wife.
Andy? I mean, throw it back there.
If I
let it bounce around on your ride home.
If I find a bomb like that, and I'm fishing, for one, I'm starving to death. So you know what? Let it happen. And if not, if I'm on a boat and a bomb gets found, I'm going to say, how about we jump off this boat and then we call the Coast Guard. We will swim over there with life preservers until the Coast Guard gets here. I'm not bringing a fucking 5-foot warhead onto my SS Barry. Or whatever it was called,
right.
Beverly.
Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance. That's gonna stay where it lies.
Yeah, but all I could think of was Joe Dirt. All I could think of was like, what? Man, that ain't a warhead. Ain't nothing but an old crapper tank, and just somebody hitting it, but it being a warhead. Right. Well, that's just an old septic tank off of an old RV or something.
Here, you got a wrench? Let me get that.
Some skater punk stuck a biohazard sticker on it and something.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's all I could think was just Joe Dirt, baby.
Yeah, that does bring you back. That'd be a good 4th of July.
That would be a good 4th of July.
That would be the best.
If that was found in the South, you guaranteeing that was not getting called. That was brought back to Jerry's house, and they're saving it for the 4th of July.
It depends on who finds it.
You find it around here, it's going under a big pile of dead Christmas trees.
Just in case.
That's how New Year's is starting off.
Right.
Put it in a pile of dead Christmas trees, and someone's going to launch a flaming arrow at it.
That's right. That's
how we do things around here.
America. Well, all right. Andy, great set of stories, man.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave you on a beheading, so I thought...
a double beheading.
A double beheading.
Yeah, ritual beheading.
I mean, it could have been us.
I'm intrigued, though. It makes it a lot lighter, the fact that it was a ritual, though.
Yeah, honestly. It sounds very occult.
You brought this upon yourself, literally.
Yeah, it's very occult sounding. It's there. I want to see the details behind that, but it's like, I wanted to leave you with a good Joe Dirt memory.
Well,
ain't nothing but an old crapper tank. Bink!
Joe Dirt is a classic. We didn't know it at the time, but it's a classic. We never do.
We didn't know it until they made Joe Dirt 2, and they were like, nobody.
Nobody asked for this.
we pretend it didn't happen.
I forgot all about it, actually.
Pretend it didn't happen.
That's right. All right, guys. We're here on the free platform, and that is because of Sandu Stories. Our new Sandu Stories comes out on Patreon. It came out last Thursday on Patreon. You're hearing this on Monday here on the Strangely Unexplained free platform. But again, that's patreon.com/truecrimeguys, and you can hear this show, Strange Shorts, every single Monday with Andy and myself, and get access all the way up to chapter 26 of Sandu Stories. If you guys want to check out Sandu Stories, there is a free platform of it now. If you're unaware, wherever you listen to podcasts, just look for the Sandu Stories logo.
And we are releasing one of those every other week. So I think we're up to like chapter 5 or 6 now on the free platform.
I think we're just doing episodes. We're not doing the chapter thing for the free
we're
platform.
We're on about episode 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
So those are bi-weekly episodes. So check those out, guys. But Patreon next week. We'll be back to start your week on Monday.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much it. Until then, just keep being strange. Just don't be strangers. See ya.
you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to check out all the other shows on our TCG network, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. Starting every Monday with new episodes of Strange and Unexplained, followed every other Tuesday by our audio drama podcast, Sandu Stories. Then, of course, new episodes of True Crime Guys every Wednesday. And if that's not enough, head on over to our Patreon, where you can have access to hundreds of hours of exclusive content, including older episodes, strange shorts, the latest edition of Sandu Stories, and, of course, higher thoughts. But until next time, guys, keep creeping.
You hush your mouth, boy.
Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt for Walter. I have no idea about this team.
Oh, the Charlotte Football Club?
I got it for $1 at Salvation Army.
That's the
half off day.
That's the soccer game I was at.
Yeah.
I sent you pictures. I was like when I was on mushrooms.
I know. I just got it because I know what it is. I'm just saying I've never been to a game. I don't know anything about the team whatsoever.
I recommend mushrooms. It's a great experience.
I'm not a soccer fan. No.
Neither am I. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but the different tiers of players I'm seeing on this field.
Right.
The stands haven't stopped doing the wave.
No, I don't know.
Ooh, that's tasty.
Right? It's quite refreshing and quite caffeinated as well. So
I'm not usually a fan of mint, but that's like
that's
like a mint.
All my teas.
It's like an
now.
aromatic mint on this
Yeah.
one because you can actually you taste more of like you taste a lot of honey, but when like you breathe out, it's like minty.
I know. Yeah. We'll just wing it like we always do, and it'll be great.